Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We've got an exciting opportunity here. We've been invited down to Austin, Texas. We even got Doug over here.
Yeah, got my name tag here.
So we've been actually invited down here by Deere to show some of the new releases of equipment for 25. And we got Tim here with us, and we're gonna check out quite a few different pieces. In this video, we're gonna look at the new Hagie.
Yep,
with,
that's correct.
What's the technical term?
See and Spray Premium.
Okay, there we go. So the Hagie wasn't available with
See and Spray before. Yep, that's correct.
So it is going to be available in 25.
Yep, that's correct.
So we've come lots of miles. It's a beautiful day, and the weather is much better than what it's like
Little breezy,
in Minnesota. So we get to drive it.
Yeah, I think this looks a lot better than a bean bar. You know, them bars with seats on that you squirt at each other instead of the weeds. This is better.
Yeah.
The technology is. You maybe even don't know what that is.
Huh?
Well, that's what I was asking about. You're the old roll of cultivation. Look over this one. It's got a front mounted boom. You don't even have to look over your shoulder.
So the bean bar was you sat on there. It was a bar, a bunch of seats, and everyone had hand wands.
Yep.
And when you seen the weed coming, you sprayed the weed.
Squirted it. All right.
That was the first See and Spray.
That is.
Like 30, 40 years ago. It's come a long ways.
120 feet now they got.
Yeah.
That's a lot bigger than, I think they were only 8 rows. Covered 8 rows years ago.
We've got a couple more
a lot of
rows now.
manpower.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see and learn about this because I think the Hagie on our farm, as we have talked, would be a better fit in general, just the high clearance for fungicide late season. But the special part about this is the See and Spray. So for those that don't know, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so first of all, a Hagie sprayer. This is like a model year 25. Things that people really like and know about the Hagie sprayer: it's got a front mounted boom here behind you to see. It's got the high clearance capability. You can literally walk underneath of it because it's 72 inches, so you can get your late season fungicide and corn. And then it has row by row control with exact apply, and then also pressure research and product reclaim, where your boom is charged right when you come out into the field, so you don't have to run some chemical out to get it. And then when you come at the end of the day, you can actually reclaim that back in to the tank.
So you don't have chemicals sitting in the boom and
you have to wash it out or dump it or whatever you have to do. And then this has a John Deere cab, so like the cab that you've seen on X9 combines that has massaging seat, big refrigerator. So you'll like the ride and drive. Maybe you'll have to drive it. But then the big thing about it that is new for Hagie sprayers that we've had from John Deere is See and Spray. So this has See and Spray Premium, which means it can go into corn, soybeans, or cotton and tell the difference between crop and weed and spray just the weed. So these cameras right here that you see right here that are mounted all across the boom are looking down into the front of the field. Like say you're going 15 miles per hour, they're looking in between the rows. It's taking pictures and scanning like 2,100 square feet a second, and it's saying that's a corn plant, we don't need to spray it. But then if it sees like ragweed or water hemp, it'll spray it. So it taking the pictures here, it sends it to this vision processing unit that is kind of the brains saying, yep, that's a weed or that's not, and then it's reaching out
to whichever nozzle it needs to use, or nozzle body. Yeah,
and that'll overlap and hit them, and it's all.
And you can go up to 15.
Yes.
That's insane to me.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Faster than the bean bar. And then the boom is all controlled. We have sensors across here for Boom Track Pro 2, because having a super stable boom is important so that everything can be seen and your application. So that's what this is about. It is a pre-production machine, I should say. That these are all prototypes that you're out here seeing. That's where you're getting a quick glimpse ahead of time, but these won't look exactly like when we go to production, because this one has like 750 hours. It's got test hours. It's been in the field. It's been running. So these are machines that have we've done productive work out here, but we're just getting a quick glimpse to show you what they're all about.
Sweet. Oh, we like seeing prototypes.
Yeah, we run them with real farmers. We run them out there. So this one, I think it was somewhere in the Delta, and we got it shipped over here to Austin for this event to show it off a little bit. But it's been running a lot. We'll run it out here too as well.
So the See and Spray, the whole idea behind the See and Spray is less chemical use.
Yeah.
You don't have to spray your whole field. It's
if
only you don't want to.
Only putting it where you need it. We see savings for like premium up to 50%. If you use our other technologies, you could get more and more savings. So you're only applying it where you need it, when you need it, rather than broadcasting the whole field. The other great thing about it is that now it makes it more flexible, like we were talking about before. You could put more emphasis in your pre-emerge program, knowing you're going to spend less in the post-emerge, because essentially you want a clean field. That's the whole point of a sprayer. So if you can get cleaner fields, higher yields, less weeds out there, lower your seed bank, it's just about taking it to the next level. This really does. We're smarter about what we do with applications. So you're talking about less chemical usage, less runoff, things like that. It's a pretty awesome system.
Yeah, sweet. I'm excited to run it.
Yeah, a little windy, but it'll work pretty good. We put some corn plants that we dug up out there so we can actually have something green, because this is not very weedy.
It's different soil than I'm used to.
Yes.
And it's maybe a little compacted here.
Yeah, there's a little bit thing called a hard pan already in there. But yeah, not the, I don't know what, gumbo
Minnesota
soil.
gumbo.
Yeah. I just like how you can take it like this and make a snowball out of it.
Yep.
Your front nozzle and your back nozzle, it's like A and B. So you can use a combination of those nozzles to hit the right rate that you want. So whether you're going 5 miles per hour or 20 miles per hour, it maintains that rate, and it can use either one nozzle or a combination of nozzles. So that's where it's controlling your pressure and your droplet size at the right rate, at the right time. So you can use a combination or just one, but it doesn't turn while you're doing it. You can just turn it manually, say you have other nozzles on there. But that's the technology we've had since like 2016 that you can get on a sprayer today that people love. More and more people are using it every day just because the amount of control that you can get. It's nozzle by nozzle.
It is like a 9RX cab.
Yeah, so it's X9 cab that you would see on a combine because it's like front mounted.
I do like the front mount boom. The visibility is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It looks a lot bigger than a 120 though. You sure it's a 120?
I counted, I stepped it off.
Okay.
Double checked this morning. You can get up to 132 foot if you want to get even wider and need that too.
We got to go to 22 inch then.
That's going to be your project.
Yeah, this is like the same kind of control arm that you know and probably have like in your combines, look really familiar. But this display is the new G5 display, so it's bigger. It's going to have 3 times the processing rate, but it's just running the same interface, connecting up to the op center like you guys do today. This is a little bit different than maybe you have in your combine stuff, but this is a specific display for Hagie. But everything else is the same. It's you got your massaging seat, heated, cool, ventilated.
There it is.
All right here, so I'll get that started.
That number 2 setting, that is the best.
Is it?
It is.
And then,
according to the big suite, but
I don't know. I don't want to ask how or why that's his favorite setting. But then there's a big cooler right underneath of you, like a big chest one. So if you, that one throw in there. Then you have your touchscreen radio here too, and everything's just all integrated, ready to go. That as soon as you start it up, you have your connections over here, so your USBs. Let's say you wanted to mount some stuff over here, you can easily do that, just like your iPad or whatever. Cup holders. Everything's good to go. You have your swivel to the right, even to the left. You'll see this kind of like extends out, so you can look even more. So it's pretty easy to see the boom. Doug doesn't have to worry about his neck getting cranked over at all.
It's good.
And then this one again has like See and Spray, and so we have it pulled up here that we can kind of choose what we're going to do. And so we have set up here, we're going to do some spraying of soybeans, where there's really no soybeans out here, but it can have our sensitivity as far as if it sees something just a little bit, it'll spray it no matter what, or you can be less sensitive. Fallback mode is just like, say it doesn't see something or you're out of bounds or whatever, it'll just still spray. So you don't have to worry about the field ever not being sprayed because your fallback motor is just broadcast anyways. So, and you can see each individual camera. If you pull up in the diagnostics, say you're having a problem, you can just look in the camera if you want to mess with somebody or see what they're doing. They're on their phone all the way at the end.
Maybe you're going so fast at 15, a leaf has gotten stuck over your camera.
Yeah, or mud.
Mud?
But like the front mounted boom doesn't really become a problem, but mud would be an example where
So what happens if a camera does fail or something gets over? Does it that section or just spray continuously?
Yeah, wherever it's covering, it would just broadcast and spray like normal would, and then you would see like an error. So like here's all of your right here is the whole See and Spray system. So all those 6 numbers are the vision processing units, the brains that we talked about earlier, and then all these little boxes, these rectangles, are the cameras, like where it's looking. So then when we run, we'll have a map up here that it'll have showing where it turned on, and then you have a weed pressure map, so that when you go through your field, you can see, okay, we've got a water hemp issue in this corner, pretty obvious. We probably knew it already before, but then you can see where you don't have problems, so that maybe you change your rates for your pre-emerge based on having really bad water hemp in one corner of the field or something. So lots of tech, lots of cool things that you can change what you do with this and be smarter about how you do it, all while saving money because you're going to cut down herbicide costs.
Sweet. We got this guy teaching me how to run this. I guess I get to run it. They trust me to run something like this, so he's given us the once over on how to run it and what to look at. Pretty interesting.
Now we get to the end, we'll just kind of turn around before this waterway. As you can see, I don't have a boundary there, so See and Spray's looking at that waterway, and that's a weed.
Okay.
And it's mine, so it's gonna spray that whole thing. And then you can see on the display here, you can see where our weed pressure map is.
Okay. The 4-wheel steer, look at that, unbelievable.
I can change basically the width and the length. So width right now we have it very small, so it's going to be a minimum of 3 nozzles. So as there's more weeds, it'll open up more. And then the length, we have that pretty large. So as we're going over the weed, you can adjust basically how far in front and behind you want the weed or how targeted of the spray you want it to be with this.
Okay.
Simple adjustments is just small, medium, large. So nothing real complicated. I'm going to change the width to medium.
So these little corn plants that are laying all over the ground are what it's seeing to spray. So that is what it's spraying, the applied map. Boom on the ground. You need wheels.
I did that.
Doggo, you're riding.
I checked it out.
What? The bathroom?
No. I think I could get underneath you with this motorcycle, come shooting out.
Oh my.
But
That
kids,
is not
don't do that.
advised.
Don't do that. I was just teasing.
So, are you ready? Or
Should I hold them? People?
maybe you want to run this thing?
Well, I could if I knew how.
So they made me turn the 4-wheel steer off
Yeah.
just because they didn't want things to get out of control. Since I have never ran one of these, really.
Oh, now we got an issue. There's no mirror in here. Am I looking okay? It's kind of windy out there. I don't have a hat. So, how do they spray the same track? You clear the...
I'm making a new field virtually every time here. Alright, so we're doing See and Spray, so that's where it's seeing the weed and then what it's actually applying, which is very hard to see. I don't know if the camera shows it, but it is basically sensing the weed and then spraying.
So how fast are we going?
Well, right now I'm going a nice
We're going
controlled speed of
slow,
6.6 miles
It's
an hour.
recommended for all rookies to start out slow.
And not just jump in and go big sweet speed right away. That's many hours of training that man.
What happens if we go through this waterway? Is that
It's
out of bounds?
They do not have a boundary here, so it is spraying the whole thing. Actually, they do have a boundary halfway in the middle of it, so it's spraying half of it right now. Okay, I turned the four-wheel steer on because I found the button.
Now there's a lot of them, I'll say that. I'm sure a few weeks you'd get used to it, or I would.
I do like the front mount. That's pretty cool.
You know, this is how it always happens.
Demoing stuff.
No, we're not really.
We're not really
we're
demoing.
Just
We're
driving.
just checking stuff out here. So it's not spraying anything because some poor guy had to run around with corn stalks
Yeah,
and
I
stage
can't
this
even-
whole side hill here.
If somebody would tell me my job was to go take a bunch of corn plants and sporadically throw out in the area, I'd tell them, you find yourself somebody else. You know, they need to make a spray for rocks. I see a few out here. Holy torque. Away
Speeding
we
up.
go. But this is where it gets hilly, so you better slow back down.
Yeah, I would hate to smack the ground.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing too.
Just in front of a bunch of guys, just smoke the ground.
We're testing. It's working. Oh, it's close.
So that was pretty cool. I do like it. The See and Spray is a very cool feature. So I was looking at a view in there of what the camera's actually seeing. It looks like it's only looking like 3 to 4 feet ahead of the boom. So it can be at 15 miles an hour. See ahead of the boom 3 or 4 feet and be spraying it that quick.
So there's a page where you can view each camera. Well, isn't there like every 60 inches there's a camera?
A lot of cameras.
Oh my.
All right, guys. So we pretty much wrapped it up.
Yeah.
I would say we
did it
covered it
all.
pretty good. Anything you want to add into it? I mean, the See and Spray, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty
You
cool.
don't get into the really technical terms.
Yeah, I mean it's seeing and spraying. It's pretty simple. You put the product where you need it rather than broadcasting. That's what it does. It's pretty cool. All the technology that you get on a John Deere sprayer, you get on a Hagie sprayer. So that's where we got you out here, showed you See and Spray Premium. It's been on a John Deere sprayer. Now we have it on the Hagie sprayer. It's building on our See and Spray technology that we've had out for a couple years, where only spray where you need it. So when you guys spray your corn, soybeans, you go in there, crop versus weed, spray just the weed. You know, have savings of 50% or 2/3 depending on which technology you use, and then be smarter about what chemical you put on there. So, you know, usually you're doing a long planning, you plan out last fall for what chemical you're going to put on, where you're going to put it. You could have a lot more flexibility knowing you can do See and Spray on your farm.
Well, I thank you guys for letting us drive this and be around and see the new technology. It's definitely awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome to be able to share with you guys.
Yeah, appreciate your business and everything you do.